Hello everyone. Today I'm going to highlight to you on how to care and maintain fuchsias. Fuchsia plants belongs to the family of Onagraceae, and they are native of Central South America, New Zealand, Tahiti, and also Australia. Somebody mentioned to me the person bought a fuchsia plant, and after done blooming, then they died suddenly. In my assumptions, the reason why probably the plant died, it may be because we neglected in watering them, or maybe we overwatered them. The plant is diseased, it has a fungus, or maybe because we live in the temperate zones of the world and we didn't mulch the fuchsia plant, even though the fuchsia is an annual. But if we mulch them good, sometimes they will come back to life. Those are my assumptions. In order to maintain prolific flowering fuchsias like the one I have over here, make sure you have to remove or cut the spent flowers. This fuchsia plant that I have over here planted in a pot because before I've been buying fuchsias also, but the next year didn't come back. Well, the reason is the fuchsia that I bought or acquired, they are not hardy. Now I found a way to save the plant. I don't have to buy every year now. What I did is I planted in pots. When it's already too cold, I have to bring them in a patio where I put all my fuchsias, and that's where they're protected. By next year, early spring, when it's frost free, then that's the time I have to bring the plants back again outside. Fuchsias like sunlight in the morning. Make sure they're protected for the afternoon sunlight. They like to be watered all the time. And maybe the reason why the person's fuchsia died also because maybe it's a hanging basket fuchsia. They dry quickly. And if it dried quickly and you don't water them, then they will be under stress. Suddenly they die because they dried out. So that's one of the reasons why when you water the fuchsia plants, especially if they are planted in a hanging basket, make sure you water them, saturate them with water completely. That way it will have the proper moisture. And if you look at my fuchsia plants, isn't it, they're pretty plentiful of flowers. But as I've said, you need to deadhead them to have a continuous flowers all the time. Another tip is that if you also notice any yellowing of the leaves of the fuchsia plant, that means an indication of magnesium or iron deficiency. So what you have to do to correct that is by diluting a 1 gallon of water with Epsom salt, and then I use that for watering the plants to make the leaves of the fuchsias always green. During springtime, what I recommend is to prune the plant. That way it produces new growth on the plant. That's an indication if you don't prune the fuchsia plant, have enough blossoms. Deadhead the plants. It's a maintenance for this fuchsia, but it's okay. I enjoy it. And fuchsia plants like to be tender, loving cared. For the soil, make sure utilize a soil that are good draining. I recommend to use a compost and organic soil. The pests that attacks the fuchsia plants are aphids or green flies. You have to watch for those things because once you have aphids all over, you won't be able to control them easily. Things that you have to use are like neem oil or insecticidal soaps to remove those aphids or insects. Another tip is that if you see some brown leaves, something like that, or yellow leaves, pick them up, okay? And make sure you don't throw them next to the base of the plant. Put them in a yard waste. That way you will prevent some diseases on the plant. I'm going to show you some issues on this particular kind of a hanging basket. Remove or deadhead the spent flowers. Otherwise, it will form some seeds. So instead of generating the growth for flowers, it will concentrate in the seeding of the plant, and the flowers will be scarce. Fuchsias are also edible, and you could eat the fruits of the fuchsias. All right, let's try it. I think this is clean. It's very sweet. As I've said, you have to cut the spent flowers, that way it doesn't form into a seed. And also some of the growth of the plants going vertically like that, cut it somewhere over here, cut it like that. That way it will form new growth and to make it bushy. Okay, that's how you do it. Like this one, what you have to do is to trim. Okay, I've been trimming it. Okay, like that. I neglected this one, but it's a good way to for you to show what are the problems or the issues if you don't deadhead them or if you don't prune them. Fuchsia plants are easy to care as long as you have a well draining soil, and they like moist but not soggy wet. Sometimes if they don't blossom, there's no bloom at all, maybe that's an indication also that maybe it's too hot in your area. I recommend is you have to probably put them in a shade and then make sure you water them. I use coffee grounds and also eggshells, scattered them around the base of the plant. Fuchsias are acid-loving plants. And I hope that you learn something from this episode. And if you have questions about fuchsias, please let me know. Provide your comments below, and see you on my next video.